Oh,
And we're live. Hello and welcome to Podcasting 101, our weekly YouTube live stream from the IVM podcast channel. My name is Abbas.
Urjitawani. Oh, sorry. Is this the other host of?
Oh man, it's gonna be one of those days. Okay.
The non-famous one out of the
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah.
Let's try this again. My name is Abbas, and I'm gonna be your host for this live stream, and also give you a little overview of what we're gonna do today. Joining me in the studio today are my colleagues, fortunately or unfortunately, Antariksh Takkar
Unfortunate. Very.
and Snayhil Aneja.
Hello.
So our fourth musketeer Urjita Vani was supposed to join us today, but unfortunately she's down with fever, so she
Or
couldn't
so
join
she
us.
says.
Or so she says.
Yeah.
Excuse, Urjita.
In case you guys haven't figured out by now, today's live stream is about the IVM Pop umbrella of shows that we do at
Yeah.
IVM Podcast.
These killer shows that we're in charge of.
Yes. So you can just imagine how well organized we are.
Yes.
And that's also how the format
vibe
of the
of this-
of the vibe and format of this live is going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
It's going to be a little impromptu, if I may
Hmm.
say
It's
so.
also called as the Kuch Bhi Chalta Hai.
In case you're one of those who's watching this and don't know what IVM Pop is about, firstly, what are you doing?
Yeah, you loser.
Yeah, get
Get a life.
get in with the cool kids and
Yeah.
follow IVM Pop,
Of course.
which is a pop culture corner of IVM podcasts where myself, Antariksh, and Snayhil, all three of us host shows. I host a show called Has It Aged Well? Antariksh, what's your show called?
It's called Just a Filmy Game Show.
And Snayhil, what's your show called?
It's called pop rap.
Yay! Live stream done. Let's go.
We know our shows.
We already have people in the chat. Shweta, Gary, and Jim Hopper Stan
Wow.
are in the
Wow.
are in the chat.
Yeah.
Jim Hopper Stan is saying Snayhil, slavery, Abbas. Purjita idols, icons, girl boss, girl slay. Is Maitri typing from a phone right now?
Oh, is this so basically what was it? It's Snayhil, slavery,
Yeah.
Abbusi, Purjita idols, icons, girl boss, girl slay. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Rocket
Let's
100.
go.
We don't have anyone whose name is anywhere close to icons or girl boss or girl slay though. Who's he talking about? I don't know.
Thank you so much for the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the live stream is called Podcasting 101. We've been doing this on the IVM podcast channel for about 3 to 4 weeks now. You can check out the other live streams also. So we in general talk about podcasting in the view of whatever shows we are covering.
Yeah.
So guys, what do you want to talk about?
देखो पहले बता देते हैं कि IVM pop है क्या, ठीक है?
Yes,
हाँ,
please.
ठीक है.
ठीक है,
Please go ahead.
क्योंकि ये ideation
1 minute. I'm gonna go over to our Hindi correspondent, Snayhil Aneja.
अबे चल हिंदी कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट देखो बेसिक्स ठीक है पहले अपन थे IVM लाइक्स करके ठीक है फिर उसके बाद हमने थिंक फास्ट किया और फिर हम लोग अब हो गए हैं पॉप रैप नहीं मतलब मैं अब हम लोग हो गए हैं IVM पॉप जिसके अंडर हम 3 शोज करते हैं एक है पॉप रैप जो मैं होस्ट करता हूँ जो एक पॉप कल्चर कॉन्वर्सेशन है फ्री फ्लोइंग कॉन्वर्सेशंस हमने रिसेंटली गेस्ट लाना शुरू किया है और कल इसका लेटेस्ट एपिसोड रिलीज होने वाला है which is with Sohail Nair, Ravina Sharma and Harshita Gaur from Mirzapur. Also, जो second show है that is Just a Filmy Game Show.
एक मिनट स्नेहिल पॉप रैप कब रिलीज होता है?
Every Friday,
Oh,
6 a.m. On audio and
So not tomorrow if you listen to this today.
yeah. Live stream hai. They are
So-
obviously listening to it today, bro.
Oh, wait, this won't be available.
Let's say they're
after-
watching this
But yeah,
like weeks from
it's
now.
gonna be available
on a
after the live
Tuesday.
stream also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys just forget how live streams work?
ठीक है फिर उसके बाद जो दूसरा शो है वो है जस्ट फिल्मी गेम शो उसके बारे में अंतरिक्ष आप खुद बताओगे या मैं मैंसप्लेन
It's just a filmy game show. और क्या बताऊं? It's a Bollywood movies based game show. Are you actually gonna explain for me?
Yeah, bro. Like,
Okay, we just play Bollywood movie games, man. That's about it. We get fun guests. We get a lot of comedians. We've started getting on some other guests on. It's basically two people on a podcast competing in various Bollywood games, and that's our show.
I have a lot of questions about your show, Antariksh. We'll come to that.
Yeah, you can interview me as much as you want.
And I host a show called what's my show called? Has It Aged Well?
Yeah.
मेरे साथ मेरी एक co-host होती है Urjita, like I mentioned, who's not
Hindi
here.
correspondent.
So
She's a Hindi.
she's our Marathi correspondent. What we do on my show is basically, like the title says, Has It Aged Well? We pick movies from yesteryears, and then we discuss about what aspects of it have aged well and what haven't. And so far we've had 20, help me out my producer, 23 episodes are out. The most
I think
recent
if you had said
episode-
50 also she would have agreed with you.
Yeah.
50, we've had 51, 55 episodes, yes.
At this point, Abbas, whatever you say.
This past month, February, we did a series of films which were romantic films, some of the most
Yes.
iconic romantic films. We covered Jab We Met with Shrija Chaturvedi, Dil Wale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge with Prashasti Singh, and Rehna Tere Dil Mein with Ronak Rajani. And the most recent episode is underrated Bollywood couples, jiske guest hain our fellow podcasters, Snayhil and Aneja. So we
So
often
two
do.
Hindi correspondents in one episode. Oh my god, mind blown.
And yeah, my show drops on Monday morning, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
When you're struggling with the Monday blues, early morning we come to.
And mine drops whenever it's ready.
So guys, since I'm the host of this live stream, I
Yes.
set the agenda. And,
Okay. क्या बात है.
among the two shows that, apart from mine, Just a Filmy Game Show and Pop Rap,
Yeah.
I have to say I feel like more planning goes into Just a Filmy Game Show.
Of course.
Snehil, if you don't mind, can I start with?
Of course,
in,
यार.
in fairness to Snayhil, right? I will say
मतलब वो गेम शो बनाता है.
that, correct. And also, yeah, for sure, that should be the way it goes.
Yeah.
But also, like, pop rap is what IVM Likes used to be, right? So that's an
Yes.
existing format that Snehil basically got.
Yeah.
That already existed. So he had to like do whatever he could in the format or
Right.
within the format. I was designing a show from scratch.
Right.
So I would say more research goes into my show than your show, Buzz. I'm just I'm just fucking-
No, I will actually agree to that. I like how Antariksh said that's a show Snehil got. Like he didn't ask for it.
I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
got.
did not-
I didn't ask
I
for it.
didn't mean
Abbas.
anything ulterior
Yeah.
by it.
But what is that chat? You're saying why? I mean, what's the common theme in all these shows? I'm glad you asked.
It is Bollywood.
It's Bollywood. It's pop
Yes.
culture.
Oh, is it? What?
It's films. It's cinema.
it's
It's,
films.
TV. It's
Oh,
streaming.
oh,
It's
oh.
all of it.
Okay.
It's entertainment.
If you guys say so.
It's the entertainment corner of IVM podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, entertainment for some, not entertainment for others.
but we won't talk about them. So, Antariksh, Just a Filmy Game Show.
Yes.
How did you conceive of it? And just on an average, how much time goes in a prep of an episode?
Okay.
And how do you decide who to have on the show?
Okay, so deciding who to have on the show is slightly easier part
Okay.
because I'm a comedian. Abbas, you and I both are comedians.
Yeah.
We have a lot of comedian friends and people we can call and text and
Right.
say, "Hey, come on my awesome show."
Right.
And
But how do you pitch it to them? Like, are you just like,
So, you
it's a
know,
quiz show?
pehle to it used to be, oh, hey, I just started a new show and could you please come on the show?
Right.
But then Rohan Joshi and Sahil Shah came on the show.
And then it got legit.
And then, then it got legit. Okay. So now it's just like, hey, I have a game show. You want to come on? It's going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of people have been saying, yes, we would love to come on. So that's
Uh-huh.
a lot, the easy part of it.
Okay.
The more difficult part is the process of what goes into each episode. But before that, I'll tell you how I started the podcast. Right?
Yes.
What happened was before Just a Filmy Game Show,
Mhm.
I had basically recorded multiple pilots of a show which never came to light, which we never actually went live with.
Right.
It was called The Biggest Liar.
Hmm.
Again, I was the host. It was co-hosted by my friend Kashyap Swaroop. It was going to be co-hosted by Kashyap Swaroop, and
Right.
we would have two guests on an episode who would again compete in 3 Zomato delivery boys.
Shavik Bhakti says Zomato delivery boy.
We were just
We had this some free time.
great, dude. We were just talking about how we were all wearing red. Great. Shavik always with the great jokes. So anyway, I was talking about
Biggest liar.
biggest lie. It never went live with it. But that was also a game show idea. So I was like, dude, I really want to do something in the game show space. And so what else can I do? I was thinking, okay,
Were you
I
a
would.
game show fan growing up? Is that something?
So I somewhat of a fan. Like
Okay.
I got into some of these the college humor shows. I got into some of those. I was really into Price is Right as a kid.
Okay.
And so that was one. And
Ooh.
I used to really like this one, Celebrity Jeopardy sketches of Saturday
On
Night
Saturday
Live,
Night Live, yeah.
which is hilarious. And because of that, I found a few episodes of Celebrity Jeopardy also really fun.
Right.
And another recent one that Howie Mandel came out with about lying. That I'm forgetting the name of the show.
Okay.
That was a really fun. But what I really enjoyed was a podcast called Doug Loves Movies, which is basically a Hollywood game show podcast, but based on exclusive Hollywood movies with completely different games. And I was like, how do I just this idea of having a Bollywood game show? How do I make that happen in Bollywood?
Yeah.
And because I don't think that exists.
Right,
Karan Johar
yeah.
has a few games off and on
Yeah.
on his show. Not off and on, like
But
often.
that's more like who's the
That's
most overrated of these three? Ranveer, Imran.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Imran.
rapid fire. No. Now he's had that game section also, right? He'll take them with the phones and
yeah.
whatever. Call other celebrity friends of yours. That's too high for us. We're not there yet. Call a celebrity. No, nobody's answering calls from our
Hello,
parallels.
Snayhil. मैं तो यही बैठा हूँ.
सुनने में है तुम्हारे 3 फॉलोअर और बढ़ गए.
Yeah. So that's how I came up with the idea of a show.
Right.
How I came up with the games and how we come up with how we keep it fresh for every episode is I just sat my ass down for like a week. And you guys remember when we started out, there were a lot of delays.
Some of the demos. Yeah,
and there were a lot of delays as to like, because coming up with this stuff is difficult, man. So we had to like really come up with just brainstorm a lot of ideas, and I was really glad that I was able to come up with some really amazing, really fun games that I'm really proud of.
So
and
do you each episode, is it a start from scratch process, or do you now have a bunch of questions ready and you just like categorize
So a little
them?
both. Like I'll keep thinking of movies, right? Whenever a movie comes in my head or a song comes in my head which I can use in the games, I'll just make a note of it.
Okay.
And wherever I'm making the next presentation for the next episode, I will include that if I can.
Have you become that guy who, while watching a movie, now just thinks of how can I make a question?
Dude, all
out
the
of
time.
this?
Like, one of the games we play on the show is called the name game, right? So, and I'm always looking. So in the advanced version of the name game, there are categories like questions like give me songs which mention a color in them. So like that kind of stuff. Like that kind of stuff will keep happening. Like I'll just be sitting with my girlfriend and I'll be just singing Pehla Pehla Pyar. That could be cheesy stuff like that. And I'll be like, oh, first love songs. I can ask that. Like songs about first love or first falling in love. And that's how you come up with the categories. Right? You're always thinking. It's like stand-up. You're always thinking of jokes and you always try to think of like, okay, what I can do on stage next. So it's basically
it's like stand up if you were posing questions to the audience.
Yeah,
was that funny?
No, very often the answer is
Shweta has sent a series of messages saying, but honestly, Just a Filmy Game Show is a lot of work.
That's very sweet, Shweta. And Shweta, I must say, give a shout out to Shweta, is one of the most supportive people that exist in this world. I am so thankful that Shweta exists, dude.
Shweta is all over the IVM network of shows.
Is so friendly and so nice. And she'll message after each of my episodes saying, oh, this was so fun and this wasn't as fun, and she give me like constructive feedback. It is amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Same for Has It Aged Well also. Meghnad is in the chat. He says, as a participant in Just a Filmy Game Show, have to say the games are very well done.
Thank you, sir.
Compliment.
Thank you.
Nice.
Nice.
Snayhil,
yes,
does Shweta compliment you on Pop Rap?
From now on, I think she will, bro.
Shavik Bhakti is in the chat. Hi, Shavik. He says, भाई को भूल गया? नहीं भूला भाई. आपने मैसेज डाला एकदम mention किया भाई.
Shavik is literally, dude, I'm not even kidding. So, Shavik is a regular on our RSS streams also, right?
Yeah.
Consistently one of the funniest presences Panelists included, dude. Always with the great fucking lines and all of the great
Look
cracks.
at Antariksh kissing
Sorry.
the ass of our fans. It's okay, Antariksh. People are getting good
I was
numbers. It's
trying really hard to make them feel good. Yeah, Abbas. Kya?
okay. No, guys, we are glad you're
Yeah.
around. Ruben David is also in the chat. So thanks for that, Antariksh, about
Yeah.
shedding light on how you go about your show. Snehil, coming to pop rap.
Yes.
So in a way, you had to do the most sort of reshuffling because your show was IVM likes.
Exactly.
Then it became pop rap. Do you think your show finally has a voice now? And what is it? Because I would love to know.
देखो ऐसा है कि दौर के साथ ना बदलना पड़ता है.
हाँ जी, सही बात है.
So what used to happen was कि IVM Likes पहले एक इन हाउस शो हुआ करता था जिसके शुरुआत में आप थे.
जी हाँ.
आप हमारे वेटरन्स
हाँ,
रह चुके टाइप. ठीक है.
Back in the Stone Age.
बैक इन द स्टोन एज. यस. तो IVM Likes पहले एक इन हाउस शो रहता था जिसपे हम लोग आके पॉप कल्चर में जो भी हो रहा है, चाहे वो किताबों से लेके गानों से लेके मूवीज से लेके सबके बारे में बात करते थे. खाना, ट्रैवल, डेट, सब कुछ.
Do you know like how it came to be the podcast?
नहीं, वो स्टोन एज पे नहीं था मैं.
So basically what happened was we were thinking of a pop culture show, right? That we could do very easily in house.
Yeah.
We didn't have to worry about guests. We didn't have to worry about कि यार
all the things you worry about
exactly,
now.
Right? Exactly that. We didn't want to do that because it was early days of podcasting. Everything was very like to the tied to the west and whatever.
Yeah.
Close to the chest, tied to the west.
That's a new expression.
Yeah,
we will use it now.
You get it. But so that was the intention was, right? That we just do it very easily. And slowly we realized that we're not getting the numbers, but it's still a very fun show to do.
Yeah.
And that's why we just kept doing it, and it's still going on. And through the pandemic, we did it, and now it's become
and then came Snayhil.
Yeah.
That did actually happen.
Like, बहुत English हो गया, अभी हिंदी में बात हो गया.
अभी रुको, अब मैं इसमें डालेगा Bollywood.
So again, I'll tell you a little bit more, right? What happened was this shift, the IVM Likes to pop rap, and the channel becoming IVM Pop, the shift happened at a time when, as a company, we were evolving.
Yeah.
Right, we were seeing a lot more faces coming into into our production and our editing. We finally had a video editing team.
Yeah.
So we didn't have video editing capabilities whatsoever at all. So that's why, although I might say that we are a little late to the bandwagon, we are finally just started video podcasting now. When our audio numbers have been the majority of our listens.
Yeah.
So now we started video podcasting, and we have a video team that can make this stuff and churn this stuff out. We are finally going ahead and really bombarding.
Yes, now we've changed.
Bombarding is putting it a little negatively.
I mean,
we are sharing our joy with the
but
world.
we're going all out. We have 3 shows on thing. We have multiple videos coming out from each of those shows.
Absolutely,
it's great.
Yeah.
So from मतलब in-house होने से आपस के 3 लोग 4 लोग बैठ के बात करने से now going to the cast of Class, to Shweta, to Shweta कह रहा हूँ, Shruti, sorry. इतना श्वेता बोले आप लोग, but to Shruti, and
I didn't mention Shweta once. But go ahead.
But now finally हम लोग guests की तरफ बढ़ गए हैं.
Right.
And now we are trying कि week in week out pop rap पे भी guests आए, और जो इंडस्ट्री के लोग हैं हम उनसे उनके experiences और उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस पॉप कल्चर में क्या रहे हैं, वो आजकल क्या देख रहे हैं, उस लेवल पे हम लोग IVM Likes को वहां से लेके पॉप रैप बना के उसको यहाँ तक ले आए. That's been a good journey. Also, IVM Likes now pop rap has always been the the most fun favorite podcast of the floor, because क्योंकि वो इन हाउस था, सारे उसको ऐसा अपना खुद का समझ के everybody once in a while used to come on the podcast, share their stories. तो वो जो सबका ऐसा मिला जुला प्यार.
So I want to ask one thing. So his show, the format is set. It's a quiz show. My show, the format is set. We revisit films and kind of review them.
Yeah.
But your show has the potential that it can almost be like a new thing every week. So how do you decide what you have to talk about this week? And do you have like a long-term plan? When I say long-term plan, you're like, इस महीने में इस चीज पे बात करूंगा, next month maybe.
हाँ, तो mostly what we do is कि जो भी films release होने वाली हैं, उसके कास्ट मेंबर्स को हम लोग अप्रोच करते हैं, जो भी उस टाइम,
फिर वो ना बोल देते
हैं, फिर हम लोग ऑन द स्पॉट कोई नई चीज ट्राई करते हैं.
So basically, like, we are at a very exciting point of our careers, at least, right? At least for me personally speaking,
Hmm.
because we are in such early days of our podcast that we get like 5,000 views and we're like, oh man, 5,000 views! It's such an
Yeah.
excited, oh great episode, great episode, great episode. And we get very excited with that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I know the pop rap episode on our the highest viewed video
The
recently on our
Pathan
channel.
reaction, yeah.
नहीं
No, no.
नहीं
Oh.
अब तो एपिसोड भी हाईएस्ट व्यूज
Yeah,
पॉप
exactly.
रैप है
So pop rap.
Okay, stop showing off.
Really, I
Nikhil
did
क्यों
not.
कह रहा
I
है,
did not. I
Snayhil?
was saying nice things. Now I won't say them
यार
because you're
अरे
being an asshole.
no you were with me on the
Yeah,
pod.
yeah.
No you weren't,
I
it
wasn't.
was just me.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to your point. So yeah, how do you
So,
decide upon what you talk about?
हम लोग पहले मंथ के important days, जैसे अभी होली आ रही है तो I'm planning a
Right.
होली special
Hmm.
with a certain someone. Hopefully if he says yes,
Right.
we will have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
And ऐसे ही करके अब जैसे क्लास रिलीज हुआ तो I got Chintan's contact and I gave it to our very efficient Jenny, who got the entire cast
She's
there.
our
Yeah.
She's
comms.
like,
She's our comms.
तुम मुझे
Yeah,
एक नंबर दोगे मैं तुम्हें पूरा कास्ट ला के देगी, ठीक है?
Yeah.
तो that happened and so ऐसे ही कुछ जो चीजें रिलीज हो रही है उनके कास्ट मेंबर्स उसके कास्ट मेंबर को हम लोग रीच आउट करते हैं, वो लोग आ जाते हैं, तो वेल एंड गुड, हम लोग टॉपिकल उस शो के बारे में उनसे ही बात कर पाते हैं. नहीं तो कुछ जो भी पॉप कल्चर उस टाइम पे न्यूज चल रहा है, जैसे फॉर दैट मैटर कोई रीसेंट मूवी रिलीज हुई है एंड उसकी कास्ट से हमारे साथ कोई नहीं हो पाया, तो वी टॉक अबाउट दैट मूवी कि हमें कैसी लगी, द रिव्यू, द गुड पॉइंट्स, द बैड पॉइंट्स वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह.
Hmm.
तो वो वैसे लाइक नाउ वी आर स्ट्रक्चरिंग इट दैट वे.
Okay. Just want to read a couple of messages from the chat. Brian Pereira says, "Nice to hear Silvery say full sentences without getting cut off." That's a reference to Cyrus says.
Yeah, it's good to hear full sentences coming out of my mouth. Man. That's true.
Srishti says, "I love Abbas so much." Hey, thank you guys.
That's I love this. This is Srishti, Nikhil, all in-house.
Yeah,
The chat is full of our
Pragati,
in-house people.
our ex-colleague, is up there saying, "Pop rap, IBM
Salak.
Lex was my first experience appearing on a podcast as a
Yeah.
guest. It was so fun, loved it, and so well done."
Just a quick thing. Quick shout out to Zalak Shah, who's also in the chat.
Yeah.
For a brief time, she was my co-host on IBM Likes before
Yep.
the whole pop rap thing.
During the lockdown, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Srishti also says Snayhil is also a cuddly.
कड़ली
video-
नहीं क्यूडी बोला है यार, अब्बास यार.
Video podcasts have become an addiction because of him. Oh, nice.
ओहो thanks
अरे वाह.
Srishti, thank you.
Wow, she's calling you good looking. That's a good looking.
Yeah, bro.
Also want to point out, Shweta mentions, someone asked, where is Urjita? Shweta is like, Urjita is sick, and Shavik is like, acha, is she sick of Abbas?
Again, see Shavik, dude. I'm not wrong. Shavik.
Nice. So
Very
guys,
well. So
I
what about
asked
you?
Yeah, I asked you questions
Yeah,
about
yeah.
your shows. What do you
I was-
want to
I was
ask
getting
about
to
my show?
Yeah. So how's it aged well start? And how did Urjita get involved? Because what is the whole story?
So
around that?
has it aged well? So for a brief while, I had gone away from IVM.
Hmm.
I don't know what got into me. But all this while, me and Amit were still in touch, and
Hmm.
Amit always used to say, "Okay, please pitch shows to me because
Yeah.
I want you to host a show."
Nice.
Because of IVM likes, he'd seen I'm kind
Yeah,
of
you're
good
really-
on podcasts,
you're really good, yeah.
hosting podcasts. So he's like,
Mhm.
I want you to host a show.
Yeah.
So I came to Amit with a couple of ideas for podcasts. One of this was this.
Hmm.
So the inspiration for Hazard Age Well are a kind of two American shows that I listen to a lot. One is called Blank Check, and one is called The Rewatchables.
Huh.
Where on Blank Check, what they do is they pick a director and they go through their entire filmography to see what common themes stand out in
Yeah.
all their work.
Hmm.
And the Rewatchables is kind of like you pick one film and then you revisit it and see what happens. So I came to him with one of this idea. Okay, we'll discuss a film that from my childhood,
Hmm.
because I've mentioned this before. The linchpin for this idea was Dil Chahta Hai, because for me 2001 Dil Chahta Hai was such a watershed moment.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, man, everything has changed when the hero is feeling sad. Shehnai nahi baj rahi hai, guitar riff baj raha hai. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is so cool, right? But if I ask guys from like younger guys in their teens or in their 20s, they're like, what's the big deal? You know,
Correct.
it's like a Hindi film, and
Yeah.
you know,
They just don't understand.
they don't get it. So I was
Yeah.
like, that's a great way. Like you said, Bollywood has such a dearth of shows like this where we discuss
Yeah.
Hindi films or
Correct. Very
Indian
true.
films in general.
Yeah.
So I pitched it to Amit. He liked the show. He's like, who would you like to record it with? And I was like, like you said, we are comics, so our first line of contact is
Yes.
other comics.
But because that's also fun, right? You get
Exactly.
great banter.
Yeah.
You get good jokes.
Yeah.
It's the perfect initial breaking off point. you
Yeah.
know?
And
Jumping off point. Again,
I-
what is wrong with my English? Sorry. Go ahead.
what was it? Tied to the West.
Yeah.
So I'd seen Urjita on a couple of open mics and I thought she was damn funny.
Yeah.
I followed her on Twitter and Instagram, and she was very funny on social media as well. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but she put a porn director documentary reel way back, which was funny as hell. Do check it out. It's on. I think it's pinned on her Instagram page.
All right.
And so it was like a parody on documentaries, and it was so well done. I was like, oh my god, she actually gets nuances of how a film is made.
Oh, nice.
So I called her for a pilot, which we recorded, and as is the procedure of the
You fell
first
in love.
with myself and my show. Yes, we had a first round of listening session among the people in the office, and everybody was like, "Dude, who is this Urjita? She's so fucking funny.
Nice.
You need to have her on a show as a regular."
Nice.
So I was like, "Nothing like it. Let me ask her."
I've never had that moment in my life.
They were all like, Abbas, so this show you want to do as a funny guy, this other girl on it is extremely funny. She should be on it. So then I approached her and she agreed to it. So yeah, that's how that
Bro, I
happened.
remember
fun.
हम लोग ना IVM likes के लिए एक मतलब टॉपिक डिसाइड कर रहे थे एंड आई वाज लाइक लेट्स इस मूवी को इतने साल हो रहे हैं लेट्स पिक एंड लेट्स टॉक अबाउट कि यू नो हैज इट एज्ड वेल और नॉट एंड देन अब्बास वाज ऑन द एपिसोड लाइक हे ये मेरा आइडिया है पॉडकास्ट का इसको शो पे मत कर
How do you decide the name? Has it aged well? I mean, it's a straightforward name.
Yeah,
which
that's
I love.
it was just
काफी
I love.
मुश्किल नहीं लग रहा है
I know, correct. But like
It
you
was
must have come
just-
up with what are other options for the name?
I did have a bunch of options actually. I forgot them, but Hazard Age was always like the go-to name. I always had it. Yeah.
Nice, cool.
So
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awkward
इसी बात पे
silence.
कमेंट्स पढ़ लेते हैं
A lot of in-house guys still.
Yeah.
Faizan is saying Vartalab OP. Okay, go take membership. Vartalab is our newest show. That is.
By the way, we should also give a shout out to Akash Mehta new special. He's asked us to share
Oh yes. It's out on his YouTube channel.
on our YouTube channel. Please go check it out. And
Not
please support
now.
if you can.
Finish this live and then go check it out.
Yeah, अभी
हाँ.
नहीं. अभी immediately views देने की जरूरत नहीं है. थोड़ा आराम से. Tension नहीं है.
प्रगति ने लिखा है BBB बेस्ट बॉलीवुड बॉयज
Aw, nice.
उसको लगा फनी था उसने सामने हा भी डाला है
Great question. Shoaib has a great question. If I can just repeat that.
Yes, please.
He says, you guys have done podcasting for quite some time now, but in the initial days, were you guys nervous of the camera, and did that affect the free flowing nature of a podcast?
That's a good
देखा भाई ये
question.
होता है फ्री फ्लोइंग नेचर जिस पे जो पॉप रैप है वो चल रहा है ना फ्री फ्लोइंग नेचर भाई ऐसा
Ah.
So when I joined Cyrus, right, personally,
Yeah.
I hardly used to speak because firstly Cyrus already speaks a lot,
Yeah.
and I was a little nervous also, right? Like on likes, I wasn't really that nervous. Like 1 or 2 episodes, maybe the nervousness goes because we are amongst our people and friends and colleagues and all. But Cyrus, like you have this like aura, you remember him from like a certain, you have a certain idea in your head, and also you've heard like that was the only podcast of IVM that I had heard before joining IVM. And I was a big fan of Cyrus. And he was so funny. I was like, dude, there's no way I can be intellectually any match in this conversation. What is the point of me having any point to make at all?
Right.
So that's what got into my head. And I was just like very shy. Like not shy, but a little nervous in speaking. I never knew when to butt in with my point. Yeah, it does affect the flow of the conversation a little bit, but you get over it. And the more you do it, it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you are at
But
it.
what was your experience
That's
when
it.
it became video? Because going from audio to video.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned I was involved. That phase of Cyrus says I was the one producing it. That was a difficult time. You know, I remember it went live on 4th of Jan 2020. That is
2020.
2021. Sorry, 2021.
Right.
2020 was the pandemic began.
Yeah, yeah,
2021, 4th Jan 2021. We went. It started going live, and I had to cancel. I had booked tickets to to go to Dharamshala with my friend Kashyap. Okay, I had to cancel tickets because we were like, oh man, there's too much work. And there's no way we will be able to get done. Everything will be in order. If I am only gone, the producer is online se kar raha hai, so the whole thing. So we had to cancel. But yeah, initially to when Amit told us, hey, I have this idea of taking Cyrus and making it daily, like 5 days a week. Initially I was like, fuck, कैसे करेंगे भाई, इतने guests, इतने topics, कैसे ढूंढेंगे? After like the first 2 weeks or so, right, you get into a groove of your own. Like how I'm sure you've got into a groove with Has It, and I've gotten into Just a Filmy and Pop Rap, where you know, okay, I need this much time, and this much time is enough to have the whole episode ka content ready.
Right.
At least the content ideas to be ready and what have you, right? So once you get that hang, then it's all like
Get
kind
used
of
to,
smooth
yeah,
sailing.
yeah.
There's a lot of work, and work never ends. But
Yeah.
that's just the nature of work. So,
Snehil, do you remember your first recording here?
Yeah, it was with him and Zalak. I remember तो वो आया था recently उसको अपने रॉक भाई को थप्पड़ पड़ा था इनसे
अच्छा
हाँ
रॉक भाई
हाँ
हाँ,
अपने रॉक भाई
रॉक भाई को विल चाचा ने थप्पड़ मार दिया था।
विल मामू ने
हाँ,
थप्पड़
वही तो।
मारा था
हाँ।
How dare एंड they were like कि मतलब they were like किसी ने देखा है क्या ग्रैमी और ये क्या ऑस्कर
ऑस्कर, हाँ।
तो मैंने कहा हाँ देखा है ना मैंने और मुझे आए हुए हफ्ता 10 दिन हुए थे ठीक है लाइक चलो ठीक है तुम पॉडकास्ट पे आ जाओ हम लाइक वाओ ऐसा झट मंगनी फट पे आओगे तो अभी तो आया हूँ मैं पॉडकास्ट पे डाल दे सीधा एंड देन दे बोले हमें इसके लिए ना प्रमोशनल रील बनाना है देख ठीक है प्रमोशनल रील बनाते हैं प्रमोशनल रील क्या था मैं प्ले कर रहा हूँ क्रिस रॉक और अंतरिक्ष भाई प्ले कर रहे हैं ये विल ठीक है और इन्होंने बोला हम
तुझे खाना था
हाँ और मेरे को बोला कि तुम ना एकदम हम ऐसा धीरे से करेंगे और तू एकदम चेहरा इधर कर लेना कुछ नहीं होगा
I wish I could find the video. I have the video saved by the way. I'm trying to go find
भाई
it.
मैं अब बेचारा 10 दिन हुए हैं मुझे आए हुए ठीक है मैं रील रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ इनके साथ और अंतरिक्ष भाई फ्लो में आते हैं और रॉक के थप्पड़ मार देते हैं
We will share this video, okay, at some point, because in the video, it's clearly you can see. I start with the motion. It's slow motion where we made it, okay. I start with the motion, and for some reason, Snayhil does this. He comes forward. I'm already in trajectory, dude. I can't say so. I slam trajectory, and I slam him right here.
भाई रॉक के पूरा दिन लाल गाल के साथ जो मैं घूमा हूँ और उसके बाद ये नहीं कि तू ठीक है क्या है अच्छा सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द रील विल शूट देयर क्योंकि वहां पे ऑडियंस दिखाना है तो दैट इज हाउ वी स्टार्टेड my podcast journey.
That's the first video recording. Do you remember the first podcast recording?
The first video recording was
no. This seems to be the video recording, right?
हाँ.
Do you remember the first podcast recording?
अरे यही podcast भी यही था.
उसमें भी खाया तूने?
हाँ उसपे हैं?
अच्छा, you on the podcast you spoke about the slap.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Did you ever get nervous initially?
I did. I remember my first podcast recording was with Amit, and there used to be a production head called Sharanya, and it was an IVM. I think the third episode of IVM Likes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
And I had to recommend a book. It used to be a recommendation show, and I remember I was so nervous I forgot the name of the book. So it's like pause, and I checked the name. I checked the name of the book, and I was like, so in this book,
you look so pretentious doing that. Like you already look pretentious when you know, like, oh, I'm going to recommend a book, right? And then you don't even remember the book's name. People are like, dude, you just wanted to show off that you read books.
Before me,
that's it.
वो book recommendation निकलती 3 mistakes of
and like just before Amit had already recommended a book and spoken about it like for 7-8 minutes without a stop, continuously.
Amit can do that, yeah.
And then I was like, so 1 minute, and I was so मेरी इतनी फट गई थी कि वो recording पे मेरा वो 1 minute करके searching वाला रख लेंगे. But then when you heard it, it didn't seem like
it
at all.
Very smooth,
I was like, wow, this is magic. Editors can make you.
Abbas, how do you feel कि तीसरा एपिसोड IVM Likes का भी आप थे अभी लिटरली अगले 4 एपिसोड में 300 एपिसोड होने वाले हैं लाइक्स के
feels like मेरे बच्चे बड़े हो गए ऐसा फीलिंग आ रहा है. Guys, do drop in any questions you have. Shweta has a question. Shweta is like AMA. This is not banter, so I have my own podcast which is a fireside conversation, tips for content that is more information, less entertainment, especially emotional conservation or sad. I think she means conversation or sad story.
But wait, why hasn't Shweta ever told us about her podcast before this?
Also, way to ask less entertainment for the one edition where it's about the entertainment idea.
Yeah, correct.
Podcast. But let's try and help her out. Fireside conversation. Tips for content for more information, less entertainment.
वो शविक ने क्वेश्चन पूछा आप दोनों से. Silvery and Abbas, do you think Snayhil has the capability to become a stand-up comedian?
I'll answer that. No. Let's move on.
You have to listen. You don't even wait to listen our answer to Shweta's question.
To Shweta's genuine question. It's like, hey, guys, help me out with my...
अच्छा वो मुझे लगा वो सो information थी.
देखो सुनना ही नहीं.
There you go. But I've actually told Snayhil this before also in private that
my first conversation with him.
What
stand up बन सकता है bro?
First तो नहीं भाई.
मतलब first heart to heart.
Shweta will come to your question
Yeah,
eventually.
Sorry.
But you said he can become a stand-up comedian.
Dude, I think he has nice stories.
Oh.
And dude,
I see
comedy can be
I
learned.
see what you did there,
Yeah.
Antariksh. Yeah.
I didn't say he's funny.
He wants you to go up on stage and make a fool of yourself and live with
Dude,
that trauma.
But
And I support that.
everyone. But I mean, but you will agree, like, dude, comedy can be learned. You are funny, that he is, thoda bahut at least.
अरे
And then the
आप
more you
कर
can
सकते
be.
हो यार खुल के तारीफ, कोई मना थोड़ी कर रहा है आपको।
Yeah, I'm saying like, and then you learn to be
Yes,
funnier on
yes,
stage.
yes,
And that's it.
yes.
That's it. Yeah, you don't have to write jokes.
अभी late हो गया थोड़ा Snayhil.
Nothing,
I
कुछ नहीं.
wouldn't. Anyway, let's come to Shweta.
Yeah, there are enough.
Abbas, how old
there
are you?
There are enough stand-up comedians working at IVM. We can't handle. We don't need more comedians at IVM.
Shweta's question about more info, less entertainment. I think that's a little like a weird way to look at it. I think don't compartmentalize the two things. The info and entertainment can go hand in hand.
Yeah, like I literally, the test has to be, would I find
Want
this
to
interesting to listen
yeah,
to this,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And that's, I try to listen, like stick to what I think is funny or I think is interesting, and I try to like include that kind of stuff. If you're, it depends on what kind of podcast. If it's a guest, and also it depends on what your aim is. I imagine your aim is, if you have a podcast, is to see it grow more and more. A great advice would be to start getting slightly bigger guests and see what they are interested in talking about, and try to see if you can include that in your conversations. Because having those bigger guests will see you have at least a little bit of bigger growth than you are having maybe with your previous guests, if you're not already doing that. And please tell us the name of the podcast. We will plug it, man. You're such a supporter of ours. We want to support you. So please let us know. What do you say, Abbas? Any tips on that?
No, I agree with everything you say. I'm just reading some of the follow-up comments that Shweta has put up. She says it's a Chotu thing on Spotify, independent pod hai, called the PS Talk Show. Season 1 is out, season 2 is in production. And I think she says she has another another comment saying she random mix back should sound like 2 or more friends talking. I think that will come naturally. That's one of the things I feel is kind of difficult to nail, especially early on. Some of the conversations that you'll have early on, especially with someone you're meeting the first or second time, might seem fabricated. But I kind of think of podcasting as it's like, forget that there's an audience, but again, remember in the back of your head there is someone listening to this. So maybe don't play up for the audience, but keep it genuine, but also remember that there is an audience listening to this. So at any time you feel ke idea thoda conversation thoda boring or it's staying, just bring it back. So
I think what would also happen, right, the more you do it, basically the more you do it, by like the on the 10th episode you'll be more comfortable that you were in the first episode, and you will see yourself, your conversations are becoming more natural and not seeming as staged or what have you.
Like on the third episode of IVM Likes, I was searching for the book, and now look at me.
And now look at me. Now I search for my pointer on my iPad.
Okay, so another aspect I want to talk to you guys about. I want to talk about your relationship with your producers on the show. Okay, so Antariksh, your show is produced by
निखिल जोशी.
Your show is produced by.
मुझे तो अभी मिला भाई. अभी तक तो होस्ट कौन स्नेल, प्रोड्यूसर कौन स्नेल.
We've done that, bro. We've all done that.
And how was that experience producing and
bro?
hosting?
Amazing. बहुत सही था. बिल्कुल ही सेकंड ब्रेन था ही नहीं शो पे. बहुत मजा आता था. मैं ही अच्छा करता था, मैं ही खराब भी कर रहा था. और मैं ही अपने आप को डांट भी देता था. मैं ही डर रहा, ये क्या कर रहा है स्नेल, प्लीज थिंक फास्ट.
Think fast is another show that we have.
But अब देखो वो होता है ना कि जिसका कोई नहीं होता उसका खुदा होता है. अब पहले मेरे पास एक भी प्रोड्यूसर नहीं था, अब मेरे पास दो प्रोड्यूसर है. जो
wait, now Maitri is on.
Yeah, Maitri and Nikhil both are co-producing Pop Rap.
Oh my god.
Now that's a first.
Yeah.
In the history of IVM, we've never had.
किसने सोचा था IVM Likes पे दो प्रोड्यूसर?
Yeah, who would have thought?
And my show is also produced by Maitri. And what is your relationship with your producer? Do you think your producers do enough
complicated
for your show?
Let's start on this. We'll have some upset producers there.
अंतरिक्ष यार है, क्या आपको सैटरडे को वीडियो दिख रहा है? Here's your answer.
That's definitely part of it. Man, but Nikhil and I have a great working relationship. We fire a lot of bad words at each other. He more than I do,
Yeah.
and he thinks he's better than me.
Like,
He's my producer. But, yeah, he's
why
a
don't
good
you
man.
host a podcast
good
then,
chap.
Nikhil?
Good chap.
Make your fucking games.
None of it is true, guys. I'm right here.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
What's
he's
that?
employable, guys. So if you want to hire him, he can leave IVM. Please do so.
Someone called Maitri Bahuguna is like, I don't think you want to piss off your producers.
Yeah.
Maitri, please subscribe to the. Please join Club Cyrus says. No, I have to say, Maitri is a very competent producer, and she's very young. So not sometimes, most of the time, she isn't even aware of the movies we talk about. She was shocked to know that Dawn is a remake of an Amitabh Bachchan film. She's like, what?
Which is also called Dawn.
Which is also called Dawn.
Yeah.
That was all over the news when the Shah Rukh Khan Dawn released. Like,
कम से कम Dawn का
remake.
नोट तो करना चाहिए था ना भाई.
But
कम से कम.
Maitri was like 4 years old when the Shah Rukh Khan Dawn came out. So that just
Okay.
gives you an idea of how young she is.
Yeah.
But
So yesterday we asked day before yesterday we asked Maitri कि अभी तक इतने सारे episodes हो गए हैं Hesitate Well के, इसमें से कौन सी films तुमने देखी हैं? Guess the number, Abbas.
1.
3?
4.5. क्योंकि दिल चाहता है इसे बोरिंग लग रहे थे.
So, of course, yes. There you go, guys. In case you wondered why I started the podcast.
That I agree. Dil Chahta is a terrible movie. Nobody likes it.
Fuck off, Antariksh.
Nobody likes Dil Chahta hai, ever.
She's like दिल चाहता है मुझे बोरिंग लग रही थी, तो जब वो गोवा गए हैं तब तक मैंने देख लिया. इसके
What are these terrible songs? Yeah.
इसके आमिर
Hate
सैफ
these
और
songs.
अक्षय गोवा से आए ही नहीं
Yeah.
अभी तक वापस.
Okay, I have a technical question for you guys. Antariksh, how did you decide how long your show should be? And how do you balance it out if you think it's getting a little boring at any point?
That's something. we are still
रिकॉर्डिंग
figuring
कैंसिल
out,
करके
man.
अगले दिन दोबारा स्केड्यूल कर लेते हैं.
So that's something we're still figuring out. What actually happened was we had some episodes in the beginning also which we recorded as pilots while testing out the games
Right.
and
yeah.
stuff, which we haven't released. Firstly, so that helps. So we were figuring out concept. Figuring out the games, figuring out the length.
Mm.
The length is something that I still kind of struggle with because I get greedy. You know, so when I see like two,
That's
cool-
technically a point where your producer should come in and help
no,
you
no,
out.
like
But
yeah.
this is on me. You know,
But this
It's
is where
not me.
Meghnad comes in intern, and then he says कि देखो ये वाला
Intern?
यहाँ तक अरे intern of the
Intern,
producer.
I was like, why are you calling him an
नहीं
intern?
नहीं. तो he tells us कि ये है मेरा मतलब जैसे pop rap का. Oh sorry मैंने cut कर दिया आपको.
हाँ.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
Again, stand-up comedy ये करेगा.
Sorry.
So what was I even saying?
कि time तुम greedy हो जाते हो बहुत
I
ज़्यादा
get
time
greedy,
को लेके.
like because I see like two amazing guests are gonna be on my show, so I think like okay, I can maybe squeeze in 5 games instead of like 3 or 4.
Hmm.
Okay, and I'll get them to play all these 5 games and get great content from them from all the 5 games.
Right.
That's how I get greedy, right? But then it becomes really long. Like we had an episode recently, we went on to like close to 1.5 hours. And like, dude, we can't have a 1.5 hour episode. That's too long.
Yeah.
Even by our standards. So like we had to like really cut it down to get it down to like what we got down to 113 or something. Or 115 के आसपास, but yeah, something like that.
Cut down 17 minutes.
Nikhil did it. So he
Wow.
does do a lot of hard work.
वो ऐसे ही निखिल को उठा और बस
Yeah,
के
yeah.
नीचे ही फेंक दिया ना.
Correct,
निखिल करता है वो.
Yeah.
मेरा नहीं है.
Guys, if you want to know and be updated on where you can get stuff from or news about the IVM Pop shows, we have a page on Instagram called IVM Pop. So in case we put our like Has It Aged Well schedules, we put up there. A lot of people in the comments ask what is the next movie. So if you follow the IVM Pop Instagram page, you'll find it there. And there are reels and clips from our shows also which go up there, which you can get a glimpse of what those shows are and
Yeah.
share it with your friends. So do check it out. Share and follow the IVM Pop page.
Yes,
The link
please
is
do.
in the description.
Link is in the description.
So
Is
also like,
what a random voice from this studio.
I really appreciate Abbas for these things. Okay, like he remembers. Okay, we have to
Yeah.
plug our IVM.
Yeah,
We have to
yeah,
plug
yeah.
our IVM Pop. Okay, subscribe to our channel. Like karo, hit that like button. Dude, I forget these things all the
Yeah.
time. This is what it is.
The
Huh?
episode. What's that, Antariksh? What are you getting distracted by? There's nobody else in this studio apart from us. All right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Abbas of IVM
Yeah.
likes episode 3 is gone.
It's gone.
This
no
new
more,
guy.
No more.
This new guy gets everything right.
So yeah, it's very well done. But please do
Jalasmi is in the chat and is getting compliments from Shweta.
Oh, also, if we can ask for some suggestions, we have been thoda struggling To firstly get our Instagram.
In life? Oh,
no,
okay.
IVM Pop numbers, follow us up, right? So please help us out with
Yeah,
that.
please do.
Also, we are struggling with like figuring out what's a good format for our feed, because we have tried to have like 3 columns for pop rap and Has It Aged Well and Just a Filmy,
Yeah.
but we're struggling to keep that. We're not sure if that works. We'll hopefully keep experimenting and keep trying on new things.
We are trying to
Well, let us know
seduce
what
the
you guys think.
algorithm every way we can.
Dude,
but it's not
all the
working.
time,
Yeah.
with like sexy looks at it and all, like,
Like,
all the time. None of it is
trying
working.
to
Yeah.
impress robots
Yeah.
and stuff at this point.
Exactly. None of it is working.
Like if
But,
Instagram asks are you a robot, you're like हाँ अगर तू पट रहा है
Yeah.
तो हाँ मैं है robot, बस viral कर दे ये reel.
But no, help us out if you have like anything that you'd like to see us do. You'd like to see, if you have suggestions as to how we can improve our Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything, we
please
are happy
send them
to
to
see
us.
it. Please, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, finally, Abbas,
Yes.
can we end this?
Zomato की delivery देने भी जाना है अब.
But we're just getting warmed up, guys.
Yeah.
Anybody watching
Okay,
this,
you know-
the 22 people, if you have any questions, please put them up.
I have a question.
yeah.
We are a pop culture show. We are a pop culture channel.
Yes.
Okay. What are you guys watching right now?
I mean, I checked out the episode 1 of season 3 of Mandalorian last night. It premiered.
Wait,
Yeah.
season 3 is out?
Yes.
Oh, what? Oh, great. My
ever,
evening is
ever
sorted.
since
My evening is
ever
sorted.
since Snayhil made it all Bollywood, we've almost
We've
always
lost, dude.
forgotten what Star
Snehil,
Yeah,
was.
that's
एक
what I was
सेकंड,
like,
स्नेहिल मेड इट ऑल बॉलीवुड 3 शोज है जिसमें से एक शो है हैज इट एज्ड वेल जिसपे सिर्फ बॉलीवुड पिक्चरों की बात होती है, एक शो है जस्ट अ फिल्मी गेम शो
Stop showing the middle finger.
अरे मैं वो
See, it's a
तीन
family show.
फिर उसके बाद कह रहा स्नेहिल ने बॉलीवुड कर दिया.
But we did used to do a lot more Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, and then you guys
likes.
came in and made the entire audience Bollywood.
Yeah, that is.
So the Mandalorian is what I'm watching. And so, how much of your screen time now is dedicated? I mean, watching stuff for your podcast.
I don't have to watch, right?
Oh, okay.
Like I don't have to watch that much. I just have to
Not
think
the
of-
whole thing,
Yeah.
but
like
okay.
I like the most things I'll watch is I'll think like when I'm designing songs for the games and all. I'll be like, oh, that's a fun song. Let's listen to the song. That's all I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
Snehil, you know what I'm talking
Mine is
about.
a very
Yeah.
fun process. My preparation is very fun. I get to like design. Okay, how will I ask this movie? Like there's a game called the movie review game where we take like reviews of famous
Other
reviewers
Yeah.
and take out like lines from those reviews, right?
Mm.
And like me having to think about, oh, how will this person react to this line? Because I already know what the movie is going to be,
Correct. Yeah.
and thinking of it as two other people
Contestant,
who
yeah.
wouldn't know
Mm.
what the movie is and getting that line is one of the most fun parts of my week. So I really enjoy the process.
But you're right actually, पता है बस
हाँ,
मैं
क्योंकि
कोई भी
recently I asked you something and you were like इस weekend मैंने इतना content देखा है
हाँ,
किसी ने नहीं देखा
पर
होगा।
जेन्युइनली
Yeah.
पता है अब मैं कोई भी अब मुझे पता है अगर मुझे नेक्स्ट वीक ये शो रिकॉर्ड करना है और इस वीकेंड मुझे कुछ ना कुछ कंटेंट तो कंज्यूम करना, उस टाइम का कंटेंट तो मुझे देखना ही पड़ेगा क्योंकि उसके बारे में बात करनी ही है. ऑल्सो नाउ दैट यू स्टार्टेड गेस्ट्स ऑन पॉप रैप, मतलब अगर मैं इंस्टाग्राम भी स्क्रॉल कर रहा हूँ एंड कोई भी ऐसी प्रोफाइल लगती है मुझे लगता है ओ गुड गेस्ट फॉर पॉप रैप, और मैं
Right.
जेनी को इंस्टाग्राम पे डीएम कर देता हूँ. फिर अगले दिन ऑफिस आता हूँ तो फिर वो मुझे डांटती है कि अलग अलग मत भेजा करो, एक लिस्ट बनाओ फिर भेजो. बट दैट्स राइट एक्चुअली, पता है क्योंकि वीकली यू आर डूइंग दिस तो वो माइंड उस तरीके से फंक्शन करना स्टार्ट हो जाता है कि यू नो
Yeah.
ये देखा है तो इसको इस तरीके से रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं, ये इंसान इंस्टाग्राम पे रील्स में भी आया है तो इसको इस तरीके से कर सकते हैं.
Like also what the transition that pop rap went through was, right?
Yeah.
Earlier we used to do like more broader topics, right?
Hmm.
We were trying for like more generic, slightly even evergreen topics that would like overarching themes, like the best like dark comedies of all
Yeah.
time. Like
Hmm.
so those are like slightly more evergreen, but they don't get the views you need right then and there to make your channel grow, at least initially, right?
Yeah.
So now what we've realized, and because of Snayhil and stuff, is that the more you talk about more current stuff, the more people are likely to hit on it right now.
Yeah.
And at least initially, because you get those numbers, they will have a slightly more consistent viewership over a longer period of time.
Hmm.
Rather than कि तुम्हें starting में भी views नहीं मिले और end में
Yeah.
भी views नहीं मिलेंगे तुम्हें, you know. So that's you have to find a balance somewhere, and hopefully we are able to find it, and we are still finding it, and so on.
Yep. So we do have a couple of questions. Let's take them very quickly and then wrap
Yeah.
up. So this one comes from Shavik Bakchi. आपकी गली मोहल्ले में आप लोगों को कोई पहचानता है? How famous do you think you are on a scale of SRK to KRK?
Great. But KRK is very recognizable, man.
So I tell you what, me and Antariksh get recognized more because of Cyrus, I think, than our own
It's
shows.
very sweet. Yes.
But we have at least I have now started getting a lot of DMs on Instagram.
Yes, yeah.
Urjita has started getting recognized because of Has It Aged Well,
Yeah, cool.
which he mentions. But Snayhil, anybody was like,
अरे पॉप रैप नहीं मतलब ऐसा देख के ऐसा पॉप रैप नहीं बट इंस्टाग्राम पे डीएम्स वगैरह
Right.
Yeah,
आते हैं.
it's
The other
very
day I
sweet.
was reading one DM from Vancouver.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they were like
Wait, wasn't someone who liked you in the chat on Cyrus
No,
says
she
in
was from
Vancouver?
Toronto.
Toronto.
So
Okay.
it's not the
Close,
same
close.
person.
नहीं
Go
नहीं
ahead,
ये वाले वैंकूवर से तो वही एक ऐसे एक दो मैसेजेस 3-4 मैसेजेस ऐसा
Nice.
दिन
हाँ.
हफ्ते के आ जाए तो ऐसा बढ़िया
So on
लग
a
जाता
scale of KRK to SRK, where do you think?
Seth.
Oh, really?
Oh, you are
actually
you mean
Fardeen.
SAK.
That's a better comparison.
Fardeen.
I'm Feroz sometimes.
I think Fardeen. Yes,
Yeah.
Fardeen is the one.
Brian has a question. Have you
Dude.
guys tried getting Cyrus on your shows? And what did he say?
I thought about it and I was like, no, because I was on Cyrus as promoting my show and he butchered the format of the show. I'm like, now I'm scared. I'm legit scared of calling him. Dude, it'll be like the most unreleasable episode I'll ever have. He will not stick to format
Yeah,
at all
yeah,
because that's
yeah.
true to form being
Yeah.
Cyrus. So I have to really think about how I will rein him in when I get him on the show. I would like really pep talk to him like before the show. Okay, hey, listen, the show is the show. The games are the games. You better fucking stick to them.
Well,
But
he's
it's
like,
nice.
hey, chup chup.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
So
Is that
I get a
correct?
lot of comments saying, why don't you do 99 with Cyrus for Has It Aged Well? And my whole thing is, yeah, Cyrus will narrate stories of when he shot the movie.
Yeah.
And then if I bring up, but I don't really like Kunal Khemu's performance.
He's
And
gonna-
Cyrus is not going to be like, yeah, man, he was a
Yeah.
dick, I tell you.
Yeah.
Of course, he'll be like, no,
No.
everybody was a pleasure to work with
yeah,
and
yeah, of
everything.
course.
He's not going to be like Raj and DK. I'm never going to work with them again.
Yeah.
But I almost got him on for an Amitabh episode once. It was
yeah?
his birthday,
Oh, yeah.
and we wanted to do a
Cyrus'
episode.
birthday?
No,
Amitabh?
Amitabh's
Oh, okay.
birthday. And Cyrus is actually a
Oh,
hardcore Amitabh
On
Bachchan
Cyrus's
fan.
birthday, do you ask Amitabh Bachchan to come talk
Yes.
about Cyrus?
You know what? This year we should try that. Let's go all out and 7th August. Let's try and get Amitabh Bachchan for Cyrus's birthday.
yeah, correct. Let's
Yeah,
try it.
But
Great.
at the last
Great.
moment, we got confirmation from Hardik Mehta, who then eventually came on the show. So,
That is like ये तो घर की मुर्गी है.
हाँ, ये like
Yeah.
Cyrus तो कभी भी आ जाएगा.
Oh, dude, by the
Cyrus
way,
तो
I
कभी भी आ
really liked
जाएगा.
Has It Aged Well का recent रौनक रज़ानी episode रहना है तेरे दिल में. Great app.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to. You just recorded. Can you tease who you just recorded with yesterday?
Yeah, sure. It's up on the Instagram stories as well. So
Yeah,
we
please tell
recorded
everyone.
with Anmol Jamwal, who
What?
goes by Jammy Pants.
One of my absolute favorite YouTubers, dude. Tried and Refused Productions.
Yeah, so that episode will be out possibly in the end of March or beginning of April. So look out for that.
That is sick. That is so
Jalasmi
sick.
had a question. Who has been the highest scorer on your show so far, Antariksh?
I think it was Namrata. Was around like
Oh.
72, 70 के आसपास something.
Oh, look,
But
the
see, that
producer
was-
actually knows something.
But that is not the criteria for the show. I'll tell you why. Because different games are on different episodes, and different games have different points. Sometimes I'll play certain games which can win certain points. So that's why points. The total number of points that you can win in an episode might differ from episode to episode.
And also, you don't
that's
do a
why.
tiebreaker because the Rohan and Sahil
No, I
episode,
don't-
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
but-
Also,
Yeah.
also the Snayhil and Jalasmi one was a
Jalasmi,
tie.
yeah.
Oh,
Was a
okay.
tie also. But I don't do tiebreakers because I want to see 100 episodes down, how many wins, who all won, and then how many episode ties there were there. Because ties are already so rare in this.
Yeah.
That's
This
I
is
like
where
that.
do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Answer.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Maitri
Yeah.
Bahuguna says
I wanna
stop
have
producer
1,000.
bashing. No, we are eternally thankful to all our producers who produce the show, and
Speak about yourself.
and the audio engineers, one of whom is almost like wrap up now. मेरे को घर जाना है.
हाँ.
And
You have to go to Panvel. Rishi has to go to Panvel.
no, but genuinely to the video team, to the audio team, thank you for putting the episode together.
Yes.
Again,
Every
only
episode.
Abbas remember to thank him. See? He remembers. Abbas remembers.
And thank you so much for joining us for this live stream, guys.
Yeah.
Or,
This is actually
everybody.
easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It was very casual. It was fun, man. It was actually fun.
How
Nice.
much did we discuss podcasting? I don't know,
I
but
don't But we took
Sounds
questions.
fun.
Thanks
Yeah.
to
We took
everyone who
questions.
commented.
yeah, that's true.
Farah said ha ha ha. Okay.
Who's this Farah?
Oh,
Bro,
Souvik
social
has-
media को तो thank you बोलो.
Oh yeah, the social media team who very diligently take bites from every guest before and after the episodes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do
Very-
great work.
Very true.
And round of applause for Nikhil and Maitri who put in so much prep for this live stream. I think they really brought their A game.
We can
And-
sense the sarcasm, but okay. Abbas.
क्योंकि पीछे हुआ क्या वो तो हमें ही पता है.
And please check in next week. There'll be a new theme and a new set of hosts on this very channel
Yeah.
who will be on the live stream. And give us some love. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel. Subscribe to IVM Pop on YouTube. That's where all of our stuff goes. So right now, go to IVM Pop, subscribe to it, press the bell icon, and,
Comment.
Follow all of us on
comment,
Insta.
share.
follow us, and please listen to all our episodes on the audio platforms as well. A lot of people have difficulty in finding where the shows are because all of these shows come under the umbrella of IVM Pop. So please subscribe to IVM Pop wherever you
Yes.
can. Please do.
Yes.
And Instagram page, link in the description. And that's about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
any
so
any
much.
last words before we wrap up?
हाँ,
guys?
follow Abbas on Instagram. अपने
Yes.
Instagram handle बोलो.
Abbas Momin 88.
अंतरिक्ष.
अंतरिक्ष टी एंड लोग कर लेंगे यार मनो को तो कर लेंगे
अरे
ठीक है यार।
मेरे बोलने से पहले ही आपने क्लोज कर दिया.
मतलब हाँ, ठीक है पर स्नेल वो व्हाट
ठीक है. Mine is Snayhil, SNAYHIL
हाँ.
@the वाला. ठीक है. हो गया. और
Yep,
कुछ बोलना है
and that
आपने
was it.
closing?
Thank you so much. One final time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
go get laid guys bye